Before the one prophesied walked the dusty roads of Judea, the world saw lives through a different lens, one where equality was a distant dream. A Roman official coldly stated, "A child who cannot serve the city has no use in it." In many cities, unwanted infants were tragically left to die, while the poor and sick were marginalized, pushed to the edges of society. A desperate mother cradling her bundled infant whispered, "I'm sorry, there is no place for you." And in this harsh reality, slaves existed as mere property, stripped of their personhood as one lamented, "My master owns my life, I do not." This was a world devoid of compassion, before the Son of Man arrived, before the Shepherd of the lost, where dignity was a privilege for the few, not a gift extended to all. Into a world where dignity was often a privilege, the Promised One stepped in. A weary woman stood by a well, surprised when he spoke. "Why do you speak to me? I am a Samaritan and a woman," she asked. He responded softly, "Because God sees you." In that moment, his presence transformed everything. He touched the untouchable, lifted those filled with shame, and noticed the invisible. Children ran to him without fear, and widows found shelter in his warmth, while the sick discovered compassion instead of blame. A trembling leper approached him, pleading, "If you are willing." Jesus replied, "I am willing." Where society drew lines, the Son of Man crossed them. Where others saw impurity, he recognized worth. His compassion was not a sign of weakness, it ignited a revolution of the heart. After Jesus' ministry, something unprecedented began to spread. A Roman magistrate held a petition in hand and wondered aloud, "They ask us to protect abandoned infants. On what grounds?" An early believer responded with conviction, "Because every life bears God's image." Soon, communities were forming around his teachings. They rescued exposed infants, fed the poor, buried the forgotten, and cared for widows as family. These acts of kindness became a beacon across the empire. A puzzled scholar questioned, "Why do your people serve slaves as equals?" The believer replied, "Because the master we follow washed our feet." Records from Roman officials captured this extraordinary shift, revealing confusion, yet a hint of admiration. In an era defined by status, this movement emphasized dignity, mercy, and worth for all. The revolution Jesus started was becoming impossible to ignore.
Then we should ask ourselves, if Jesus reshaped culture, ethics, and society worldwide, why isn't that taught as history?